There's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up.
Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for watching my previous videos. I really appreciate it. This is a channel that we discuss all things tech. At the moment we're mostly showing what's going in my house, what I've chosen and the reasons why I've chosen that technology, and would I do it differently if I was to do it again. On this video we're going to be discussing all things lights. In the last video we walked into this room and you could see this mess of cables. The mess of cables is still there. That's where the termination rack, all these cables are going to go into the termination rack, and then the other rack will sit next to it. But on today's video we're going to be discussing this board here, which is called the automation board. It's by a company called Billboards. Basically inside it there's a lot of electronic equipment that's helping to power up the lights. This device next to it is also a billboard, and there'll be one going underneath it. So just to give you a quick glimpse of what the room is going to set up is going to look like and what's what. On the corner there you have two cables sticking out. One of them would be for the security system and the other one will be for the aircon control. In this first board here, if I open it up, as you can see we have NBN and Co. So this is the internet here in Australia. At the front of the house we have fiber to the premises, and then we have fiber that comes into this box, and from this box the ISP, internet service provider, provides us internet, and then I can have a Cat6 cable coming from here and it'll go up through and it'll come out through there and go into the rack, that thereby giving me access to internet throughout the house. On this top space there where it says free space consumer equipment, I'm going to put my security system. And then in the board underneath, which is not yet installed, as you can see there's wires down there, I have my aircon control going in there. That will be for another video. I can talk you through what my security system is, what my aircon system is. But on today's video we're going to be looking at this board here. This board here is by a company called Billboards. It's a BBW06 from memory, something like that. If I open it up and we take a look inside, I'll preface this by saying I'm not an electrician. I haven't done any of this work. It's just I love tech as much as you do, so I try to know what's going in my house, why it's going in there, and have an input and a say in how things are done. So it's called a BBW06. The reason for that, it's got 6 bays. That's basically it. And at the top here is a top switch. It's currently off. Obviously it's a construction site, so not everything is working at the moment. Only the things that are lit up are working at the moment. So that switch controls this second part here, which is the control 4 equipment. We have control 4 bus Ethernet gateway. What that does is it controls the link from the control 4 controller to all the keypads that are going in the house. So a keypad is basically how you control the lights. You say, I want the lights to turn on, I want them to turn on to a specific scene, like 50%, 25%, or anything like that. Moreover, the control 4 keypads, you can have all your audio on there as well, like you want it to turn on to a specific Spotify channel, or you want it to turn on your TV, you want it to turn on your fireplace, whatever you need to. That's one of the powerful aspects of control 4. So next to it we have control 4 bus power supply. So this is just giving power supply to all those keypads that are going throughout the house. There's limitations on how many keypads this can supply power to, but we're all well under the limit in our house for that. Underneath that, here is the DALI Zone controller. It's by a company called Rapid Lighting Control here in Australia. This is the main brains for all of that, and it ties into the Control 4 system. So as you can see here, you have internet going on into port 1, which is how we'll interface to this zone controller and have communications with this zone controller. From there, it has 4 different DALI lines. DALI stands for Digital Addressable Lighting Interface. What that means is, if I zoom you up to take a look at the lights up here, I could give you, sorry for the glare. Basically, if we look up there, we have 4 different downlights. With this downlights, in a normal electrical system, you would have one switch on the wall that would turn on all 4 lights. And if you want all 4 lights to be at a specific percentage, like 25%, then you would need a dimmer at the end of it. The thing with DALI is all these lights would be live, and then you have a DALI line, which is 2 cables supplying the data to the light. And you can tell by doing that way, you can tell that I want that light to be 50%, I want that light to be 75%, I want that light off, I want that to be its minimum 1%, which is pretty cool what you can do with that, because you can create scenes and zones that are much more sophisticated than just having different circuits. The other nice thing, nifty thing, and the reason that we chose DALI in our house is these lights actually have color temperature control. So you can actually say, I want these lights to be 6,000 Kelvin, for example, which is like a blue light. Or at night time, you can say, I want these lights to be 2,700 Kelvins. At the moment, there's this thing called human-centric lighting, which Control 4 and other companies are also on board with, which will change the color temperature based on the time of day. So as you wake up in the morning, it will ramp up from 2,700 to 3,000 to 4,000. And then during the day, it might hit 5,000 to 6,000. And then at nighttime, sunset will start dropping down, maybe 3,000 Kelvin. And then when it's time for bed, it might get to 2,700. So we have 4 DALI lines in this whole house. It's split up into 2 go on the downstairs level and 2 go on the upstairs level, and then split up again into the left and the right. So unfortunately, that DALI zone controller doesn't have an integrated power supply. So at the bottom here, as you can see, these 2 that are lit up in green, those are the zone power supplies. So each one is lighting a zone from the zone controller. So at the moment I have 2 of them turned on, but I could turn on the other 2. And what's that done is it's also turned on the lights on the upstairs level. At the moment they're all turning on because it's a construction site and people need to see what they're doing. Underneath that is our next devices. We have a Control 4 8-channel dimmer. The purpose of this is there's only 1 or 2 circuits throughout the house that are not on the DALI line. This is for the exterior lights outside of the front of the house. So we've put them on this 8-channel dimmer. That's where they're sitting. So there's only 1 channel in use. It's actually not activated at the moment. Next to it is the 8-channel relay module. The purpose of this is the exhaust fans. Basically all the exhaust fans in the bathrooms run into this. we have motion sensors throughout the house, and when motion is sensed in the bathroom, it turns on those exhaust fans for a specified amount of time. Also in this rack room, I also have an exhaust fan to take out all the heat from this room. So after, you can control it based on the temperature in this room to exhaust some of the air out, thereby bringing fresh air into the room. Underneath that is this 8-port Ethernet switch. It's just Control 4 branded, but basically you have one Ethernet cable coming into here, and most of these require Ethernet as well, so they require the internet, and then it links from those to here. So there you go. That's a look at our lighting system at this house. Obviously it's very limited at the moment in what I can show you. There's other things going in, like you have LED tape, which will be controlled through DALI as well. That's going throughout. We'll also go through the Rapix and how you can preset that to show and to label each light. And then there's a pretty cool way of knowing exactly which light is turning on, which will be a pretty cool video in the future. I apologize for the lateness of the video. I've been busy working. As you can see, here is a quick snippet of what I've been doing. The racks are finally in place at the final place, or in the final rack room. Been busy taming all the wires at the back. Still a few more things I will need to do until it's completely live, but at the moment everything looks good. Enjoy, and see you on the next one. Cheers, bye.
I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again.